Chapter 17, Serendipity, or Whatever. Exams were over. Earl went home to Pecan Grove. Standing in the bathroom mirror for the first Saturday morning of winter break, popping zits on his face, Earl noticed a chin hair that was ingrown, and he reached for the tweezer. Ring, ring. The house phone rang. Ring, ring. His mama, Wah, answered the phone in the kitchen and yelled, Erland, telephone. She always called him Erland when she wanted to make sure he could hear her. Earl, putting down the tweezer, screamed, I'm coming, Mama. Earl ran to his room, dove across the bed, and grabbed the phone from the nightstand and yelled loudly enough for his mama to hear, I've got it. Mama hung up the kitchen phone. Hello? Silence, and then a sniff came through the earpiece of the phone. Earl, this is Gina. It was Toonie. She kind of lost it. Gina, slow down. What happened? Did Toonie get hurt? Is Bryn upset? What's going on? Letting out a growling outburst of sobs, Gina was now bawling uncontrollably. Gina, I need you to grab hold of yourself and let me know what's going on. You're starting to scare me. She sniffled a bit more, took some time to collect herself, and began to talk. Okay, Miss Lillian called me and said that Bryn, she didn't make it. Bryn passed away yesterday evening. Earl interrupted. What? How? She was riding Toonie, and there was a squall. After a flash of lightning and a huge clap of thunder, Toonie reared up, all the way up, started tripping and all, throwing Bryn to the ground fiercely. Brian and Shari saw the whole thing happen. The way she landed, she was killed instantly. I don't know anymore. It's just over, and she was such a sweetheart, such a gentle soul. I loved her so much. Yeah, I know, Gina. She felt like I'm not going to be okay. Earl was sobbing deeply at this time and gasping for air as he spoke. Thoughts and memories inundated his mind. And to think, I thought you were going to tell me something about Brian and Shari. Earl, what would I say about them? Well, you're going to find out anyway. And at this point, it's small news. They're having a baby. And when I got back in the room the night before our last exam, they were in there talking about marriage and a baby. Gina shrugged her shoulders, which Earl couldn't see, and replied, so what? We expected that. Well, at least we're not surprised, are we? Oh my goodness, Gina, this can't be happening, can it? I know, this is so hard. Gina shouted as she began to cry again. After several moments of the couple lamenting over the phone line, Gina sadly stated, I'm going to lay in bed all day. If you want to talk later, please call me. Are you okay, honey? Earl, sniffling softly, responded with, I have to be okay. We have to keep living. But that girl felt like a tiny piece of me. You're my girlfriend, but she was like my shadow or something. Ever since we met, I just felt like she's always been there and was always gonna be, you know? I understand. Do you want me to stay on the phone with you? Earl said no, but he really wanted to talk. I have to tell my parents that I'll need to go to Mississippi for a funeral service. When will the services be? Do you know? I'll let you know as soon as I find out, Earl. Okay, bye. Bye. Earl ran through his home and stopped where his parents were sitting in the kitchen at the banquette. He sat on a step stool, wide-eyed and silent, feeling as if his gut was bursting in continuous explosions every minute or so. Wah caught a glimpse of Earl through the corner of her eye. "Son, are you crying? Was it the phone call you just received?" Earl was orally unresponsive, but just shook his head slowly as if to say no. Tears overwhelmed his eyes until wetness dragged down his cheeks and neck. Still, his eyes were wide and round like saucers, barely taking the time to blink properly. "What's going on, Earl?" and his dad asked him with great concern. Concern? "Mama, Daddy, my friend, Bryn, is dead." Earl's voice escalated. "Dead?" he shouted. "How? Why her? We were so close. I didn't get to say bye to her. I'm going to miss her so much." Earl's parents shared a look between them. Wah rose up quickly, put her arms around her seated son, and cradled his head into her neck. But she never took her eyes off her husband. Earl released quiet tears for a short moment and collected himself. He gave a slight appreciative push to his mother and said, "I'm fine, Mama," even though he wasn't. Wah let go. "Oh, y'all, I need to go to Mississippi for a funeral service. Is that okay? I don't know when yet." Again, his parents looked at each other, his mother lifting her eyebrows as if to ask a question of her husband. Bobby raised his eyebrows too, in response, and mouthed the words, "It's time," to his wife, for only her to see. "I will drive you and attend the service with you," Dad offered. "Thank you, Dad. I appreciate both of you so much." "Erland, let me know when the services will be as soon as you find out. I have to lay out a body tomorrow, and we have 3 funerals this week. I'll need to know in advance so I can ask Jimmy or one of the guys if they can direct in my place." "Okay, Dad." Earl's face gave the idea that he was beginning to calm down, but his innards were quivering out of control. "Earl, why is your face bleeding?" Wah questioned randomly as she wiped Earl's bleeding pimple with a napkin from the kitchen table. The following Monday morning, when Gina and Earl spoke, she let him know that the funeral services would be held on Thursday morning. Gina gave all the details about the funeral parlor, church, and addresses for both. Earl wrote everything on his best stationery, the fancy kind that his neighbor gave him for his 16th birthday, that he only ever used for the best letters and notes. He figured Bryn would have really appreciated that gesture and that she would have liked the printed border of the paper. It was navy blue and emerald green plaid. They both had agreed to loving blue and green plaid the day after they met. Thursday morning came, and Earl popped out of bed with purpose. The day was surreal, but he wanted to be on time. He intended to try on his suit beforehand, but forgot. He wore his gray pinstriped suit that he wore when his cousin got married last year. Luckily, it fit in length, and he was really proud of the fact that it was a little snug across the shoulders. Earl, Socks, gathered his wallet, his watch, and the stationery with the directions on it, and told his dad it was time to set out for the grueling drive. Bobby loved music and enjoyed listening to music on long drives. This would be a long drive, but Erland requested that no music be played because music reminded him of Bryn. It's not that he and she listened to any specific songs together or anything, but music made Erland happy, and so did Bryn. Earl didn't feel like being happy on the drive. He didn't know when he would ever want to feel happy again. At that moment, he thought being happy would be unfair to Bryn. "Dad, do you think it's weird that I only knew Bryn for 1 semester and I feel this strongly about her?" Dad retorted immediately with a quick "nope." Dad, why do you feel like you had to drive me? Do you not trust me? Son, you just lost one of your best friends. Why would I let you drive this far by yourself while you're feeling sad? Erland, when you get there, you'll be happy I'm there. You'll see. While we're riding, just sit back and enjoy the ride. I have a feeling you'll need the rest in advance.